Good morning. I just get this working here.
I don't see you.
I know. They close another program. Okay.
All right.
Good morning. Hi.
Good morning.
Let me share the screen here. Okay. So last week we said
Samach Tes. Yeah, Samach Tes.
So you want to summarize last week, or you want me to summarize?
He was trying to say that there's a difference in Ga'avah between the pneumius or the inner Ga'avah or the inner understanding of Ga'avah and the external understanding of Ga'avah. And although I've read it again, I still don't see exactly what he's saying, but that's what he said.
Well, I think that it's also important to point out. He says that let's see. There was a punchline here. Yeah. So everything is without perceiving that the radiance of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's illumination. So the everything emerges from our perceiving that, and that Hashem created the world for people to perceive that illumination, and that perceiving illumination, everything else should proceed from there. Our entire Avodas Hashem proceeds from our perception of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the extent that we perceive Hashem in a, I don't know if it means esoteric way, but in an awareness kind of way, a knowledgeable kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the root of loving the good life, is the source of shleimus and the opening to it. So the love of a good life is embedded, is intrinsic to every living being, at least every human being. But the question is how you attain it. How you use it. And Avas Chaim is the basic construct in which everything else is, on how we conduct our lives. But how can you depict that which is lofty and significant, to which you should yearn? The great principle that anything which is good, distinguished, and significant, when it's in the proper place, and it's perceived on its unique level, we'll find in depicting it a state of complete rest, and calm, tranquility and calm, and a pleasant satisfaction. Passes over and floats. It fills the entire space of the creature who perceives it. Okay, it's a very fascinating idea, which he doesn't seem to connect directly to Yiras Hashem. It seems that there's actually a perception of that which is lofty in life, which I would call Yiras Hashem, but he doesn't use the word here. But somebody who gazes from a distance on the the outer trappings of that kavod v'inyono and its matter. Masikin yana rash. For him, it is a concept which is noisy. Well, that's I think he means it more in the sense of overwhelming, or v'heder menucha, and a lack of rest. In tchunas hama'ala v'anoam. With, I'm not sure what he means by this line, but with the characteristic of that which is lofty and pleasant, the person who's in distance finds it to be rash v'heder menucha. So there's the paradox here is that a person who's inside this concept, inside this appreciation, for him it's amazing. Person who's outside this appreciation, for him it's horrible. So everything has to do with a person's perspective, whether it's inside or outside. Vanilbav, somebody who I said, yeah. So Tzedem Nucha, right? Vanilbav, somebody whose heart gets aroused, Shumavchin, when he discerns Shein Tova Gemura, that there's no complete good, Ki im, except im hashalva v'hashke, unless it has tranquility and calm, free with Hashem Nucha Shlema, an enhanced flow with complete rest. I guess I'm assuming the Nil Bab is somebody who's also mashkif merachok. Somehow, even though it looks to him like Rash and Heder Menucha, he decides, no, I'm going to try it out. So, it's kind of like, to give the marshal, it's kind of like if you have a non-Jew who's converted to Judaism. So Judaism at first should look very, very stormy and difficult and not tranquil. And then if the person tries it out and enters it, somehow he realizes that it's not all that it seems to the outside. And from the inside, it brings the person tranquility and calm and sense of whatever being Jewish brings. So that's the way I would understand what he's trying to say here. The same would be with a Baal Tshuva, right? Somebody who starts at distance and sees things as being stormy and difficult. And presumably, because Rav Kook is not speaking to non-Jews or Baal Tshuva, this is also true about somebody whose avodah is not on the right madrega, and somebody who wants to come to avodah on a higher madrega. That the higher madrega always looks very difficult and stormy and mole rash and lack of tranquility, and getting there gives the person at least some sense of calm and tranquility. Okay, I don't know if I've ever gotten there, but for somebody who does get there, when we talk about Rabbi Levin or something like that, so then that's where they are holding. So he finds that he wants this Shalva of Ashkei Riba Hashem Nucha Shlema, Holy Chulasik Chaim Kehler. He goes to attain this life. We take him in idea mitis. You won't find him except with the true knowledge, Va'avodah Shlema, and perfect and holistic service in Tikkun Kol Hamidos Kula, with fixing all the midos. B'tachlis HaTeva Kedusha, the ultimate in good and sanctity. V'asachol, the foolish person, Mekabos Atzir Mala, he looks Matzir Mala, he perceives the depiction of this lofty level. The Kosef law, and he yearns for it, Kamoshu Mitztayer B'Levavo. And it's interesting, he wants it, but again, he wants it the way it comes into his heart. B'tzil Rash, Vargoshad Kufa, with a depiction of noise and pressure, Boletes Harbe B'Chushius Gasa, and a very tangible, coarse sensuality. Okay, I don't know how he's finding the Chushius, no, let's not say sensuality. Chushius means in a very tangible way, in a coarse, tangible way. So this is people. I think this is an analogy here, going to taking our description from before further. This is a person who sees whatever Mila he perceives and sees as attractive because it'll give him an opportunity to be zealous, and it'll be fun to be throwing stones or cards on Shabbos, whatever the case may be. So that's things he sees the Rash, the Sochel sees the Rash. That's the person who's Melubav, whose heart is aroused, and the Sochel. The Melubav sees beyond the Rash. The Sochel just sees the Rash, but he wants it. So the Sakim is Galsibo Bajbos Hakoch Dimyoni, Bajbos Hakoch Dimyoni, Uznus Halev. He won't find it except when his heart is revealed, when he makes
he satisfies his imagination.
I don't think so. I don't think it says boss. I think it's hash boss. There was pretty much bia means here to take an oath which restrains his imagination and Zlusolev in the deviation of his heart. Okay, I think that's what I think it was hash boss. The Rav Kosev and he has to also take this oath and fight with this great yearning to the broad castles, the breadth of castles, and broad government on others. Okay, I guess that some people perceive that in that Rash. The pleasure of eating and drinking and other sensual pleasures, they can only be felt temporarily. So now he's going down to specific midos, saying if a person's in it for the pleasure of eating and drinking and other tangible sensual pleasures, you only get that at the time when they're operative, and they get their barrage from Hergesh Gas. Evidently, any type of sensual pleasure, even minimal eating and drinking, is normally Rash and Hergesh Gas. Shelazeh Tisaver Nefesh HaPchusa. The small soul wants that. But the stomach of the wicked is always lacking. He can never fulfill his soul completely with them. So therefore, you want something more spiritual, which is going to be more perennial, more lasting. Omehen Arrogance and Shichrus. Fascinating. Okay, the way he understands drunkenness is an attempt to uplift and to extend the spiritual state. Not the spiritual state. To get a sensual spiritual state which is lasting, will outlast the drinking itself, and propel him forward in this drunken stupor, which he perceives to be a higher level of attainment, because it's spiritual, so to speak, over just the actual drinking of the wine. He feels a lack of I guess this is more true in our day and age if we think about drugs. In other words, the pursuit of being high is, again, to extend an experience from just a physical one into a spiritual one, but make it both higher and longer. And that is an illusory sense of spirituality. Okay, so the Arrogance and Shichrus, remember, they Shemagish from this he Shemagish heder hamenucha the esek hamachshava is going to show bilbo hadimion the Paul Rash, being a sense of drunkenness comes on account of his lack of rest and the involvement of his thought in a confusion and a confused imagination. No. This is what he feels when he is drunk. It is a heder menucha, he's saying. A lack of menucha, v'iskei machshava, and I'm not sure why it's such a heder menucha, because normally people fall asleep when they get drunk. But
well, I think he's saying that it's sort of it's an artificial calming of what he's actually seeing. In other words, he's seeing this rash and this disorganization, and in order to sort of calm that, he drinks, and therefore it distorts his perspective into thinking that everything is okay, everything is calm.
Yeah, so I guess there's two opposites. In other words, when he's not drunk, he's always thinking machshava, and when he's drunk, he's removes that, and he has a bilbul hadimion b'pol rash. In other words, the distortion of drunkenness supplants all other difficulties which he normally undergoes. That's considered strong life. Yoser masmid mizeh hasugu ga'avah. Shichrus is a longer lasting form of ga'avah. Zoom is going to cut me off in a couple of minutes. So, for some reason they're supposed to give me 40 minutes, but the second time this week they shortened my time. I don't know exactly what's going on here. So, but we'll go up. We'll go as long as we can, and then we'll get cut off. We get cut off. Okay.
Okay.
We'll pick it up from where we get cut off. So it's Ga'avah lasts longer. He senses himself, or he senses himself obviously with an egotistical way. And he is very coarse simcha. In any way that he can attribute to himself the loftiness and success. V'teva avas atzmo, and this nature of love of self, moshachto lasmid b'zeh tanu ganivzeh. It draws him, and I guess also allows him to engage in this degrading pleasure. Shutanu chomri, which is a material pleasure, v'dimyoni, and an imaginary pleasure, banui al sheker v'tohu. It's based on falsehood and emptiness. So, going back to what we spoke about last week, I actually taught it yesterday in school, the Dunning-Kruger effect. So the Dunning-Kruger, so there's just like the person who's ignorant is in a state of bliss because he thinks he knows it all, right? So the guy, Baal Ga'avah, is in a state of bliss because he thinks he's above all and successful or whatever else in his own mind. So there is this idea that he is the simcha gasa because he's miyaches to himself, this ma'ila v'atzlocha, and with his love of self. When he feels this coarse pleasantness, he wants to intensify it. And he flows with ma'ilus v'atzlochos. He depicts himself with these great greatness and these amazing qualities. Shema fil shemes mehem. He doesn't even a trace of them. Mashiyeshba, whatever he has, Mandil Alfei Moini. He amplifies thousands of times, actually, sheker, till he gets very caught up in falsehood. And his spirit becomes coarse upon him. Any possible upliftment and honor which he gets in his imagination, he attributes to himself and his accomplishment in order to enjoy them with the coarseness of his foolish imagination. Okay, we mamish have less than a minute left, so and here at a period. So let's stop here for today. Okay. Well,
very good.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Have a good week.
Take care. You too. Take care.